Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz here with Dave's Faves. And we're getting up there. We've got a bunch of these now. And today I'm going to talk to you about Beethoven's Seventh. Oh, I love Beethoven's Seventh. We all love the Seventh. It's such a glorious symphony. It's been recorded so many billion, zillion, trillion, quintillion times. There are performances for every taste. But I have a particular favorite. And it's a bit of, let's just say, iconoclastic favorite. It's not the one you might expect. I don't know whether you expected it or not, but for me, the one I reach for, my favorite Beethoven Seventh, when I just want to sit back, lay back, and let the sheer joy and energy of the symphony wash over me and blow me against the back wall, is Thomas Beecham with the Royal Philharmonic. Now, Beecham was not a particularly great Beethoven conductor generally. I mean, he wasn't really fond of Beethoven, comparatively speaking. He preferred Haydn and Mozart, the earlier stuff. And, his view of the Seventh, people have quoted it. It's wonderful. When he was recording the scherzo, he listened to it and he said, "What is that? It sounds like a lot of yaks jumping about." It had jumping yaks. And that's why I love this Beethoven Seventh. In some respects above all others. Because of all the performance of Beethoven's Seventh, this is the most fun. It's just a good time, a really good time. There is a tendency when you're dealing with German music in general, and Beethoven in particular, to take it so seriously, to treat it heavily. And if it's not heavy, then to be very tight-lipped and strict. And Beethoven's Seventh, because it's all about rhythm, right? The first movement is, bump ba dum bump ba dum bump ba dum bump ba dum bump ba dum, and the scherzo da dum ba dum ba da 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 da, and the finale dum ba dum bump ba dum bump ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum ba da dum ba da da. It's all about rhythm and energy. And so conductors tend to freak out when confronted with this, and especially the control freaks like that vile Theodore Karensis, where it's so disciplined, all the joy just gets sucked right out of the music. It's nothing but a metronomic, mechanical exercise in time beating and counting. And that is exactly the opposite of what you want with this symphony. I mean, it was the soundtrack to the cartoon, the Charlie Brown cartoon. It's the Easter Beagle Charlie Brown. I mean, I want to see Snoopy bouncing around to the theme of the first movement. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to feel that joy just gushing forward. And nobody did gushing joy like Thomas Beecham. He just loved doing what he was doing, and when he was hot, he communicated it like nobody else. And he was hot in this Beethoven Seventh. It has horn players that are totally insanely ripping along. I mean, he doesn't care if they're drowning everybody out. He doesn't care about repeats and all of that folderol. He's just having the most amazing good time. And when it's over, you just feel so refreshed and invigorated and healthy and young. It's such an amazing performance for those reasons. Yes, there are performances that are perhaps better played. There are performances that maybe do the allegretto and balance those two themes with more precision and perfection. Zell, for example, which is another favorite version of mine. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's that famous 1930s Toscanini recording with the New York Philharmonic that basically set the standard for what modern orchestral playing is supposed to be. I mean, so there are many great sevenths and many ways to approach the symphony. So I am not in any way denigrating those who want to impose a greater feeling of discipline. Sometimes that suits me perfectly. It really does. But when I want joy, and who doesn't want joy, for heaven's sake, Beecham's Beethoven Seventh is absolutely unique in the discography. Nobody comes close to it, in my view. So that's my feeling about Beethoven's Seventh. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.